Okay, so here it is, video one of what I've now decided is my new challenge as part of chapter 3 and the Cure Your Emetophobia and Thrive book. I don't usually do videos, never done a video diary, so also not used to looking directly at the camera rather than looking at myself. So if you see my eyes wandering, that's why. I've also got some notes so that I remember what to say. So my name is Vicky. I'm English, but I live in New Zealand. And I'll just start off. So the reason I started the program, I've had emetophobia for as long as I can remember, so going on 20 years. And I've tried a few things over the years to fix it. The beginning of 2019, I decided this is the year that I'm going to sort it out. I'm going to do some stuff. So I went and found a consultant of various therapies to help me, and nothing really worked. And then I had my daughter got quite a bad stomach bug in the middle of the year, so in August, and I was just a mess. I couldn't look after her. If you're watching this, you probably have emetophobia, so I don't need to say anymore. So then I bought the book. I was researching late at night, and I found the Thrive program, and so I bought the book, and I started to work through, and I started to feel a lot better. I was making some changes, and I thought everything was good. So then I stopped doing the work. I'd spent about 2 weeks reading the whole book and implementing some stuff, and maybe a week after that, doing some of the exercises, and then thought I was better. So then, like I said, the book it was an ebook, so it just went into my folders on my laptop and just disappeared into the ether. And then there was a particularly nasty stomach bug floating around my daughter's daycare and just the suburb that I live in. And so my daughter got sick again, and then my husband caught it, and I was doing really well. When my daughter caught it, I was, I can handle this. I'm all the stuff in the book that this is not happening. This is not happening to me. I'm creating this. And I thought, I was like, what, I'm not going to get sick, and even if I do, I can handle it. And then my husband got sick, and it was all over. It was just a mess on the floor. Once he got sick, I was sort of, I was like, wow, if he can get sick, then I can get sick. And so then my daughter ended up really ill. I started to feel like I was getting it, but decided to push myself anyway. So I went out to a friend's party, and they were having a barbecue, and I just just felt so ill, and I couldn't eat anything, and I was just like, no. So I had to pick up my daughter, drop her at her grandparents, and go home, and just spent the next 2 days in bed and didn't eat anything other than 6 pieces of toast, I think, and over the next 3-4 days. So I was just so frightened and I just couldn't do anything. Life was just horrible, and I was like, it's time to do something about this. And I realised that I didn't do what I needed to do with the book by myself. So then I decided to work with a Thrive consultant. So that's what I did. I reached out on the website, and which must have been to Rob or to someone that manages the emails, and he sent my details on to another consultant in New Zealand. So now I'm working with her. I'm on week 2, and I just thought I would just record some videos to kind of document what I'm doing, because I know that the mind can be a tricky thing. So some weeks I think I'm having a good week, and then I'm having a bad week, and then I don't have any evidence to remember what it was like. So I just thought a video is a good way for me to look back on what's happening. So what's happening so far? So I've set my goals. So I've got 10 goals on a vision board on my bedroom wall that I look at every day, and imagine what life will be like when I achieve those goals at the end of the program. I've made a commitment to do something every day. So half an hour is kind of a bad day. That's about as much as I'll spend on it. That's if I have to just read the book when I go to bed, or just watch some testimonials, or listen to them while I'm driving or something like that, just something. And then at best, so yesterday I spent 5-6 hours working on something that I'm finding particularly challenging. So I'm basically just trying to saturate myself with the Thrive program. So reading the book, listening to testimonials, watching the support videos, anything that I can to successfully do the program and cure my emetophobia. So how I'm feeling at the moment is pretty overwhelmed. I tend to get overwhelmed quite easily, make myself feel overwhelmed quite easily. So I've got a lot of things I want. I'm trying to do everything perfectly. So I want to make sure that I can do everything that I can, but it means that I want to do everything well, and I've got to get everything right. And I'm quite successful in other areas of my life, and that's why. So trying to remember what to do. So, my inner voice and visualizing, watching videos, reading the book, doing the exercises, picking a new challenge, reminding myself, when I have a thought that this isn't happening to me, I'm creating all of those things. And the biggest thing for me this week is I've been very confronted. My consultant had me pick one of my external beliefs, and it was going to be the hardest one for me to change. So she was like, right, work on that first. And it's just, all the others I can get on board with changing and be like, yep, it totally makes sense. There's no evidence for that. I can challenge that. Great. I've caught myself thinking some of the things that I used to think, and I can change those. That's great. One of them it's my belief in homeopathy being an effective treatment, and I've looked at the evidence for and against, and I can see how the science doesn't back it up, and yet there's still something there. Like it's homeopathy and alternative therapies, and sort of believing in that stuff that's not necessarily proven fully by science yet. It's a core part of who I am, who my husband is. Like it's a really important part of our relationship. It's got everything to do with the relationship with my daughter, my friends. So that's been really tough, challenging, and implementing or just dealing with what that looks like if I don't believe that. So I'm just kind of hanging out with that. I've been pretty angry, I've been pretty upset, I've been okay with it. So lots of different emotions over the last few days. So I'm just hanging out with it. I've got another call with my consultant on Thursday. Today's Tuesday, so in a couple of days. So I will, have another chat to her and just see how it plays out. So at the moment, I don't know how I feel about officially changing it, but definitely willing to challenge it. But it's been confronting. So I want to try and keep these videos ideally under 5 minutes, but this one is a bit longer, so we'll keep it to under 10. So just some wins for the last couple of weeks. So I've been catching my inner voice telling me things, like that's one of the things I say to myself is I'm stupid, or that thought is stupid, or that thing is stupid. So I've been challenging that, and when I have a thought that I can't do something, or I'm getting anxious, and being like that's just a belief that I hold, I can challenge that, and this is and then creating something new. Also been catching some of the ludicrous beliefs. Like I never really believed in my horoscopes. I didn't really believe in ghosts, but then when I look at it, a part of me really did. I went out to do some exercise in a different place last night, and I had to leave my gym bag in the car, and I found myself crossing my fingers and wishing that, putting up positive thoughts that no one was going to break into my car and steal my gym bag. And I was just like, wow, that's bonkers. When I thought about it, that, it just didn't make any sense. So I could challenge that and behave differently. I've been realizing how I talk to my daughter, and having her just saying things that are very external to her and affecting that locus of control. So one of the best things I can do for her is to model the behaviour of having an internal locus of control. So it's been really helpful for me to do that. I went to wish someone good luck the other day, and I was like, they're getting married, and I was like, good luck, as if they need luck to get married. And I was able to change what I said to them and just said something like, I'm sure the wedding's going to be amazing, and I forget what I said, but and then two other things that have been really cool. So yesterday I had something in the fridge, a pasta dish or something that was a day older than what I would normally deem acceptable to eat, and I was like, you know what, the chances of it going off are very, very slim, and if it is off and it makes me sick, then I can cope with it. And so I ate it anyway. So that was a big win. That was a big win for me. And also I usually go and work out on a Monday night, and it's normally at a gym. I couldn't go to the gym for whatever reason. They'd moved the workout somewhere else, and it was just going to be boys. It wasn't going to be any of the girls there. So I was like, I wasn't going to go. And then I realised I just had this belief that I wasn't good enough to go work out with the boys. I didn't want to look stupid. I was a bit anxious about it being in a new place, and you know, I wouldn't necessarily know how to cope, and I was just able to catch those thoughts, challenge them, and I went and worked out anyway, and it was awesome. I had a really good time. So yeah, so this is video 1, ever so slightly over 10 minutes, but yeah, until next time.